Go for it. Let me minimize that. Okay.
Hi, so I'm Shruti. I am one of the co-founders as well as the art director for Raji, and I've worked on the environments in the game, and this is...
Hi, I'm Ian. As Shru says, other art director. I've primarily been working on the characters, but also jumped in on the environments as well because we're a very small team, and we all have to jump in and help each other out as and when all the way through.
Yeah. So today we'll run you through the demo and basically talk about the game and our inspiration and how we did what we did. And also, if you have any questions that you want to ask us, please come to the Steam chat because we can't handle so many chats at the same time, Discord and everything. Understand we're artists. So please come to the Steam chat. See you.
Cool. All right, let's
start.
Let's get in there. So we're starting off with the introduction, and this is the first time that we've actually had the introduction in the demo, and we've been waiting for this for an awful long time, and we it's a very special moment for us because we're putting context to the rest of the game, and because prior to that we never had this, and so the team worked very hard in getting this done, and we'll talk about the inspiration as we go on. So yeah, so we'll just resume. Confirm me button. There we go.
Golu and Raji, brother and sister.
So the style of this is derived from the Balinese shadow puppetry, and
also the Rajasthan.
And this was their whole world.
Yeah. So it's a mixture of the two because we took that from
the other performers were their friends
for the demons as well.
This was home. On that day before their performance, Raji took her brother aside. Did you forget little brother?
Yeah,
she
awesome.
asked him. And she tied a rakhi to his hand. For it was the feast of Raksha Bandhan.
So people who don't know about Rakhi is basically a festival where sister ties
although it was a feast
string to her brother's hand, and it's in the
Raji
promise to
on
protect each other, and it's a really special festival for siblings.
While Golu told his puppet tales of ancient times when demons walked the lands.
Yeah, sure, we'll...
Yeah, we've got loads to share, so stick with us.
A long time ago, a demon did penance. For showing such devotion, Brahma blessed him with immortality and a mighty weapon of all. Upon receiving, he united the demons to wage a war. Bhumi Devi urged him to stop. He killed her ruthlessly without thought.
Okay, excuse us. I'll do it afterwards.
This angered Shiva greatly, and he stomped, dividing the continents, and the demons were forever lost. But as he spoke, the skies darkened, and the earth shook, and other figures dressed as demons strode through the crowd. These were not masks. This was not a child's tale. slaughter.
But don't worry about
Raji
that.
trying
We
to reach
also
her brother.
We get stick. We
You-
get.
you'll watch
That's
us
our
play.
disclaimer.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Been
We're
hurt,
artists.
and he was
We're.
She
see
knew
how
she
many
was
times
dead.
if I play this, how many times I die while crossing
But
that
in that
pole.
moment,
Yeah, we've
Raji
made the
failed,
game.
for the Garasura demons took Golu from her.
I love all this. It's awesome.
Raji,
Here we go.
awake, my
Mm.
child.
Okay. So. Okay. Before we start, my disclaimer. Artist might die a lot. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So, what's the significance now of the three ladies?
So they are like the Apsaras. So Apsaras are basically the angels that guard the gates of the heavens. So this entire location is the ruins that we call it, and it's the remnants of the temple that was. So it's a very old temple, and it's you get to see whose temple it is. Goddess Durga. And every inspiration in this architecture is basically taken from the formation and the life of Durga. How did she came into being? So especially this lion. So when Durga was formed by the gods, the three major gods in Hindu mythology, she was riding the lion. So lion is the pet of Durga. So we thought, since this is a cave entrance, we'll utilize this in the architecture as a feature. And this painting particularly is actually very close to my heart, because this is the first painting that I did, and this is something I was inspired from when we, as a team, we went to Rajasthan for an inspiration trip. So I saw this particular painting in Jaipur Fort of Ganesh, and it had these colors, this beautiful red colors, and it was a really old painting, and it really stayed with me, and I really wanted to use it in this. So yeah, so this is a painting of the Asura that Durga slayed. So that's the formation of Mahisasura. So Mahisa means buffalo and Asura means demon. So he's the buffalo demon that Goddess Durga slays. So yeah.
She is so young. A child. Remember Shiva's words. It is
Yeah. I just want to put this in because everyone just runs right past it. In the background, you can see a waterfall.
time.
I put all that in. And you run by it in seconds. Just thought I'd want to add that one. Yeah. Okay. So, what's the significance then with this, the liquid and the flame? What's all that about?
It's just oil in.
Yeah, isn't it? Yeah, but it's
It's the
back from the
diyas.
deers.
Yeah, but yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, that went well.
I need you now.
Oh.
This is also a very significant moment in the game. So yeah. So a little backstory about the 2D cutscenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So okay, let this play, then I'll explain.
Her brother and the other children had been seized by the Garasura. I told her that she must be strong. Her journey would be difficult and full of unknowns. I blessed her with the Trishul, my most powerful weapon that Shiva had given to me. This, with Raji's own serenity and strength, would save her brother.
Right, go on. Cutscenes.
Yeah, so the 2D cutscenes, as Ian said before, it was basically an inspiration from the Balinese shadow puppetry and also the Rajasthani puppet show as well. So this is, initially we wanted to do a 3D cutscenes, but very quickly we realized that our team is pretty small and the quality that we wanted to achieve isn't possible within the time frame with the amount of people we have. So we did have the idea of the shadow puppetry, but a certain section of it, but of the story part. So, but yeah, Ian suggested we try it, and it worked like a charm.
But also, with the 3D cutscenes, that limited us to being very selective of what we wanted to do, and so we couldn't really tell the story all the way through when you've got small amounts of cutscenes. And so when we decided to go with the 2D shadow puppetry, it just opened up the whole story, and it was very quick to do. Isaac, our cinematic animator, did a marvellous job, and yeah, so we were also be able to blast through. All the storyboards were done well ahead of time.
Yeah, that's Ani's credit to Ani that he really got that nailed.
Yeah.
And even the assets were made by him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Isaac and Ani did pretty good.
Oh, they did a marvellous job. Marvellous job. This is the one of my favourite scenes in the game, and I'll let Shruti explain.
So this is a statue of, so she's just said a prayer to Lord Shiva.
Yeah, sorry, we're just trying to read
some of the questions.
Eagerly awaiting, okay. 1 year, please release the game as soon as possible. Yeah, we're trying. The guys are actually working on it right now, and that's no lie. Me and Shruti are, what's the best word to say? I don't know, brain fart. We're doing this, they aren't. That's it.
Yeah, like right now it's mostly our work is almost done. We're just polishing stuff art-wise, but yeah, it's more to Avi, our designer, and our programmers, Paras, Deepam.
There is fire.
Yeah, you got Jalay, tech artist. You got Shreyas, artist, an extraordinaire. Annie, concept artist.
And our other character artist, David.
Yeah, Dave. And then we've got VFX artist Ted. He's in Brazil. Music was by Linus. He's Greek. And resides in Greece. And as I said, the cinematic animator is Isaac, and he resides in Melbourne, Australia. So yeah.
So this art style also, like, it has a little backstory to the art style. So we really wanted to achieve that painted look that you usually see in the Indian temples or the old Indian paintings. So this is why we went with this style. So mostly you'll find hand-drawn all these motifs and different designs on it. There is also mandala patterns on the floor, which is quite prevalent all over India. You find rangolis or mandala. So they're basically holy and like auspicious designs that are drawn outside the house.
But that's with the chalk. Is that
exactly.
Chalk?
That's why when you saw that Durga temple, there is the chalk drawn
Yeah.
pattern on there. So it's even like in Durga Puja, you draw this in front of the deity. So it's part of the culture.
Blessing.
And yeah. So,
Did that without dying.
yeah, exactly. This is the first time.
And to use the skills of her childhood.
It is one thing to climb the
Yeah, I know. Even I keep dying in that first tutorial pole.
face a demon.
Just before this, I was doing a test run and I
You
died
died.
twice. And I said, Ian, you played. I don't want to die.
We're actually going to be swapping later because on the tutorial I can do one bit and Shruti can
No,
do.
no, you're playing it.
Oh, okay. We'll soon find out. Okay.
And all these beautiful
To save
camera
her
work
brother,
that you
Raji
see, it's
must
all
face
done
the
by our
demons.
designer, Avichal. So, yeah.
She held the Trishul, and it was a gift of great power.
So,
It was blessed by
specifically,
Brahma,
someone asked about
Vishnu,
the
and Shiva,
development.
and
What
would
do
help
you
us stand
actually want to
against
know
her
about?
terrible
The
foes.
art side, how did we go about it, planning, what do you want to know? If you can ask specifically, we can tell
Yeah.
you.
Because it's going to be a lot to cram in an hour. It's like 3
To
years.
wield it, she would need strength, courage,
Huh.
and belief.
No, it's with that.
Okay.
This is another location that's pretty close to my heart. Like this entire composition of having that Apsara and Raji coming out of that cave to here is like
Very
yeah,
symbolic.
yes, and Ani did a really good job at portraying this in concept, and I guess
Well, we
me,
try.
Shreyas, and
Yeah.
we've tried to really stay true to the concepts that were made. So
Have any of you seen my brother? The other night.
And what we've done in the game as well is like these small little set pieces of animation. Is to put some like in-game animations, which is story context. So
yeah.
so it gives you extra little hints and so on.
Hello, masked circle.
Mask circle, hello you. Okay. And what's interesting, because this game was meant to be an isometric game, yeah. But just looking at the camera, right? Because we've got the fluidity of the camera, we can do pretty much what we wanted to do.
Yeah, because initially, I don't know how many of you know this. This game was supposed to be in 2D, and we were supposed to do everything in hand-drawn tile sets. We actually tried few of our old like we did sketches, and after that we tried to break the assets down in 2D, and I started painting the assets as well, and we tried creating a level in Unity, and soon we realized that at that point of time when we started, I was the only one, and so we realized that I had to paint all these 2D assets by myself, and it was we
Yeah.
couldn't
Well, you can do
finish.
it.
Yeah.
Just imagine all this lot that you see in front of you done in 2D. It would just been a nightmare, and we'll be here for years.
And also that since we are experienced 3D artists, even though I have a background of 2D, we really wanted to use the strength of the team, and the entire team, our tech artists, our programmer, they had previous knowledge and experience in Unreal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So it
Lulu!
There's a bit of an echo then. Yeah. First time I've heard that.
Yeah, this is again where she spots that her brother,
Yeah, you see there they are. They're still going off in the distance.
his brother is been taken by the Asuras.
Yeah. So one of the questions was here, what was the most challenging part of this project you guys faced? I think initially when we started pitching the idea, no one believed us because when we did our Kickstarter demo, it was almost like to a lesser quality of what you see right in front of you, and that took us 10 months to do. And we did we almost killed ourselves doing it. Is pretty much what we've been doing with this as well. So it was to get the funding. That was really, really difficult.
So when we did the Kickstarter demo, I think you need to concentrate here,
Yeah,
or
okay.
we're going to be stuck.
Yeah, I'm going to be here for all night. you carry on.
Oh, you did it?
I did it first time. That's never happened.
And I love this new edition of
I did that
VFX.
first time as well. Oh, run.
Come on, dodge in.
I know. I'm running. Run. Get off. Get off. Have I done it wrong? What have I done wrong?
So there's new edition of these VFX combat because we got a lot of feedback, and Avi and Paris have been working really hard to implement and improvise the combat. So yeah, I think it looks good. If I may say so.
Oof. Oh, you're mocking me. You'll get a bit of this in a minute. Oh, there you go. Have it. Oh, where's B?
She has the demon reeling. Now she will bring an end to him.
Yeah.
This door is weaker than the other, and the Trishul is a most versatile weapon.
Oh, we're going to be here all night now on this next one.
You'll be able to do
I
it.
know. Okay, well, A and X. I'm going to see where bloody buttons are. Alright, okay, here we go. Oh, here we go again. A, X, A, X.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, we went through a lot in this journey.
Alright.
Okay. I'm sorry, I have to keep leaning in. I'm not wearing my specs. I should have. No, not in this one. You will have the other gods, but Hanuman is not a part of this game. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Are you stuck now?
I'm not stuck, but I'm just not getting it right.
Okay.
Hang on, you might have to take over.
Come on, it's quick, AX.
I'm not a bush.
Okay.
Right, last go, and then you're doing it. Hey? Right, I know this is for practice, but I'm not very good. Hey, done it! Hey, Y. Oh, that's a Y. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Can you reduce the volume after this of the music?
Of the music?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do it now. Options. Music. What's wrong?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Back. Resume. Oh, got my cursor. Just move that out of the way. Right then, let's. What is it? A and Y?
Yes, Ian.
A and Y? I've got to like looking down. Oh, wrong direction. We're going to be here a while.
You've reduced the music to no music now.
Oh.
Okay, let him clear this first.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah.
I need to
Stop
concentrate.
distracting.
I can't do this. Oh, see, I'm
Oh, and stop messaging me and Paris.
right. We're getting messaged by Paris and Avi, the others of the team, and it's distracting.
Yeah, you're distracting us.
Finally. Oh, sweaty palms.
Control.
No, I'm doing controller. I can't do keyboard and mouse. I've got to turn the music. What am I doing now? Options.
Yeah, music is completely off. So
Off,
turn it up.
Okay, move that one up.
Yeah.
Do you want?
That's fine.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
go
yeah.
back, yeah.
Okay. Is that okay for you now, guys?
Yeah. Stop messaging us, Avi and Paris.
Right. Oh, wrong way. Oh. God, come on. Stop. Gotcha.
I don't know if you guys remember, this location is pretty close to what we had in the Kickstarter demo as well.
Oh, bad breath. Oh, that's gotta work.
Mark Circle's question. Okay. What was the question?
Could you guys?
Okay.
I don't know. What was it?
Can you just scroll up and
I
check
can't.
the
If I got to scroll up, I've got to come out of the game. Okay, let's come out of the game quickly. So just pause it. This is dedication. Oh, that is a big question. One thing I wanted to ask was how you guys got inspired for Raji's character design. I've been following the game for a long time and was helping with during testing. Oh right, okay. The builds, but couldn't ask about it since I never encountered anyone from the team from art direction. Oh right, sorry about that. Is there also some inspiration for background and what does that say?
overall world?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, overworld.
It's very eye-catching and has the distinct Indian myth feels, but was it inspired from somewhere?
Yeah, so the architecture, so I'll tackle each question.
Yeah.
So the architecture is inspired from Rajasthan architecture. So Rajasthan is a state in India which is it has beautiful architecture. You can definitely
It's
Google
insane.
it.
It's
There's
amazing.
beautiful palaces and temples. So the architecture of that particular place is really inspiring, and our designer actually went there. He was the first one to go to Rajasthan, and he was really inspired by the architecture, and so that's how he wanted to make a game. And we met at a college, and so yeah, and I've always wanted to as well work on something that had really Indian myths and also kind of glorified Indian art atmos. So I've been a fine art student, so I have been inspired by the Indian old Mughal paintings, which is Pahari paintings. So we kind of use that inspiration of Pahari painting into the architecture as well, the art style specifically. So everything that you see hand painted, which has a look of a painted style, that's kind of inspired by the old paintings. If you see in temples, Indian temples, that every corner of the architecture kind of tells a story. There are sculptures, there are motifs that tells the story of the deities. So yeah, so that's the inspiration behind the architecture. And for Raji's character, no, actually we when we started with this story, we always wanted to tell a story that's close to us. Everyone in in the team kind of have a sibling, and initially when we started off, it was just Avi and me. We would just think about ideas, and we wanted to tell the sibling story. So yeah, that's the reason behind Raji's character, and it's a story that's close to our heart, that you are on this journey to rescue your brother, and you'll do anything to save your loved one. So that's what she's, a simple girl, She is a performer on the streets. That's also her. Uh, she does acrobats on the street, which you saw in the first cinematics. And her brother tells the story through puppets. So they both do not have any other family member, and they both are each other's everything. So her brother is taken now. Now she has to be on this journey and kind of like figure out what's going on and why is it her brother that's been taken. So yeah, that's the story behind Raji's character. I hope that answers your question. You have to scroll down.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, just gonna have to go out of the game.
So I'll tell you a little bit about this part as well. So initially, if you saw our first teaser, if you've been following our game, so we had this mandala mechanic. Our first teaser kind of teased about the mandala that was used. So mandala is quite like I said, prevalent throughout the game. It's used in architecture, and we started off by just the patterns. When the puzzles were a part of the game, it was just patterns, and then we thought about using this mandala puzzle to actually tell the story, the backstory of the sibling, about Raji and Golu. What happened before Golu went missing, or what was their life like. So this is a fragment of Raji and Golu's memory, and you will find a lot of these throughout the game, and which will connect to the bigger picture, bigger story. And there are other sections of the environment that we use to tell you the story of the universe of Raji.
But this also derived from the previous puzzle, because with the mandala is symmetrical, it's not asymmetrical. So, and we introduced that when we did the Kickstarter. But what we found was, even though we applied colour, so it's like like holy, with the different colours. We did it in a what we thought was a very simplistic pie type design. So it was derived in thirds. But then whilst we watched the people play it, people were actually getting it wrong, and it was.
Yeah, it was initially like a lot of people didn't know where, like,
How
it
to
was
match
not,
it.
yeah, it was
wasn't
not clear, but it was not clear until we tried to explain.
Yeah.
Or something.
So that's what brought us onto this particular.
Yeah, but
mandala.
it's evolved with time through the development of the game, but it fits really well with the story right now, because mandalas were the best way to tell the fragment of their past. So can you just scroll down?
Sorry. Yeah. Just 2 secs. Scrolling down. Oh God, there's loads. Hang on.
I have to come a little closer.
Yeah. Right. It's such small type.
Yeah. Now Ian's graphic design comes in.
Oh no! I'm not going to. Hang on. How much have we got?
Is that an indie game? Is it an indie game? Yeah, it's an indie game. Yes, we are just a small team of 13 members. So yes,
Yeah.
we are an indie team. We don't have an art team of 40, 50 people or more. Or
No.
it's just 2 coders who are like killing themselves right now. 1 designer who is awake every night.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just a small team.
Yeah. And with regards
But
to.
we take it as a compliment if you
Yeah,
think that.
definitely. Let's just resume. With regard, hang on, there's a big one up here.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of inspiration? The background.
No, we just.
Oh, we
said
did that.
it,
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, just scroll down.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, even actually the puzzles part of it is my favorite as well, because I'm quite attached to the story bit of it, and
Oh.
to play this.
Sorry, it's an artist playing. Oh, I missed. Huh? Avi's cursing me. I know he is. Huh? Got it. I did this really well before. Now you're all watching me. I can't do it. Oh, just missed.
No, you're even back to the Y one now.
Yeah. Got it.
Now use it.
Now use it. Or you
Or
lose
you
it.
still gonna do A and Y, X and Y.
Get off. See? Look, did it.
Come on, bun the tandoori.
Burn the tandoori.
Yeah, doesn't that Tez look like one?
He does. He does a bit too much sun.
Sunburn.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, that's it. Get him. Get him.
So these are the two. So Ian is also actually an environment artist. All his career, he's been an environment artist and art lead. So we didn't have a character artist initially, and when we did the art for the Kickstarter, it was just me and Ian. So after that, somebody had to learn to do the characters since we are a small team. And yes, Ian started learning to make characters, and Tez and Gadasura are Ian's first character.
Yeah, Gadasura was the first one. Yeah. And then I put off Raji for a while because I was scared.
Yeah, of the humanoid. Yeah.
Anatomy. It took me a long time because I'd never used ZBrush at all, and I.
Okay, don't talk now and just do
okay.
it.
I'll press the wrong button. Oh
X,
no!
and
Yeah,
everything
I know,
is X.
It's not X. It's A.
A and X.
Hang on. That's the first time I've ever done that, and I'm dead proud. Oh, wrong way. Oh, yes.
And this is also from feedbacks that we got about the wall run. These are new addition, all these VFX, and they look really cool.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I've forgotten the moves.
Thank you so much, Blizzard Ranger. We're really happy that from the response that we are getting from everyone about the demo and how everybody is loving the improvements, and whoever is playing it for the first time as well, all the comments that we've got been good so far.
I just look like I'm playing it for the first time. Oh god. Oh, smacked in the face. That's gonna hurt. Oh, wrong direction. That should be a group. Wrong direction. Oh. God, go the other side. It's gonna hit me.
Yeah, go. He's gonna kick on her face otherwise.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that wiggle when he died?
Like Shreyas says, Shreyas is the other environment artist. Like, he hates Tez. So, yeah. Tez is annoying in the game.
Yeah.
Tez is basically that's Tezap spitting, the acid spitting demon. His name is Tezapsura. Tezap means acid, and Asura, as you know, is demon.
I love this bit.
So that's a shrine of Kali, goddess Kali. She is kind of the angry version of Durga. She's another avatar.
But which is goddess of what?
She's also the goddess of war and
Oh, okay.
yeah. And she's
There
the angry version. So there's a story. There's a lot of myths and stories behind Kali's. Are you gonna get all of them? You did
No,
it there.
I just did it in the wrong place. Told you, artist playing.
Smacked on the face.
Oh yeah, see that. Get in there. Oh, hang on. Run.
Does it feel to kill your own characters that you've made?
Oh, I don't mind that. He does look very orange, doesn't he?
Yeah. Like I
He
said,
does look.
he looks like a tandoori.
Oh, bad breath again.
Do you mean the dark red one, the boss of Test Demon? He's the rage version of Tezapsura. Yeah, so kind of like a higher version of.
Get out of the way.
Yeah, I know. Are you guys laughing at us playing?
Probably. Come on. Oh, right in the. Have it. Come on. Get in there. Right, get another one. Get another one quick. Thank you. Get it. See you later, guys. Dead. Oh,
So
yeah.
who is that? Psycho 16? You guys said tandoori. Oh shit, now everybody's gonna call him that, isn't it? Come on, Ian.
Oh no. I'm just gonna keep dodging him.
Yeah,
Scared.
just dodge. That's the. Come on,
I keep forgetting all the combos. Can I jump up the wall? Okay. Oh, he's laughing at the wall.
Oh god,
alright,
he
here you
really
go.
took it.
Yeah, you've had it now, mate. Oh, that's gotta hurt. That has got to hurt.
But he's still not dead, so.
No, he's not, is he? Come on. Oh, I was going to execute him. Okay, doke.
You must have
Tandoori said that.
promise.
Well done.
Shit, I've just given Tess a new name, haven't I?
The curry demon.
So all these architecture as well has different stories from Durga's formation.
Look here, Durga. They have captured your own story.
So before you play X, let me explain.
Go now,
this
go
is.
for it.
So yeah, these are little sections of the level where you get to know about the gods that bless you in that particular level. So how did they come into formation? What was the story behind Durga's existence, and which god blessed or formed to make Durga? So this you will find throughout the different levels, and we wanted to use the architecture like how in temples you would have the walls telling the story about the wars that the gods have been in, so we also use that to tell the stories as well as
You should really put your glasses on next time.
Oh, thank you. So Ani did the initial sketches of these story, and these are painted by me. So yes, I love these a lot because I'm more into traditional art.
Biased.
So yeah, this is something that I really like doing too in the game. And I love the music as well in these storytelling.
But we've been
patterns.
told to turn it down by our fellow developers. Oh boy. Mosquito.
Mahabalasura seized the heavens, unkillable, defeating and driving out
Photo mode.
devas.
I'll let Avi or Paras answer that.
Yeah, over to you guys.
Yeah, I know you're watching.
You should be working.
He'll say, I'm working and watching.
Mm-hmm.
So our sound designer, Linus, he actually plays all the Indian instruments. He did come to a trip to Rajasthan and he did learn it from the locals, and he stayed there and he learned the Ravan Hatta I think that's the instrument, and he can also play the sitar and tabla, and yeah,
Very,
they-
very talented guy.
yeah, and yeah, he's done a pretty good job. And this painting is one of my really favorite one, the formation of Durga.
To create a being capable of destroying the foe. All their power focused into one body, gifted with all their weapons. I wonder what your first thoughts were.
Oh, those animations. I can tell you now. Oh, hello. In the early days, we actually acted them out as well, and at the beginning sequence, at the beginning actually of the game, where Raji wakes, that's actually Shruti. You did a little acting on that.
Yeah,
didn't you?
we did put a video up as well on our
Yeah.
Facebook, I think, a comparison between
Yeah.
the two. Actually, everyone did act that thing out. We have some funny videos. I remember Paras's acting.
Oh, was it awesome? Almost beats mine. And then when it came to doing the attacks and so on, those Himanshu and Avi, they went out with a broom into the balcony.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Beautiful game, really nice. Thank you for all the comments.
Yeah,
Yeah,
lovely comments.
yeah.
It just makes. Oh, sorry, but it's a bit rude, isn't it? Just walking off. Yeah, a lot of.
Yeah, we've put a lot of
We've
heart
put a
and
lot
soul into this game. This is our first game as a studio, and it means a lot to us. Yeah. Everyone in the team has
Worked
their
the socks off.
as Ian says, socks off.
Wear the socks off. Oh, thank you. It's so important that, you know, because we are indie, and especially being an Indian team, even though I'm an expat, we have to.
You're half Indian now.
we have to quash that stereotype that you know, other than, you know, what is expected that comes out of India.
Yeah, when we set out on this journey, we really wanted to showcase that, you know, you can have an original content, you can have something come out of India that looks, feels and plays good and is of international standard, and it's not just a mobile game. We really wanted to make a game that will stand out. Come on, Ian.
I just got the cold shivers then. Yay! First time.
No,
Right.
don't fall here like
Yeah,
you do.
I did. Yeah, yesterday I did. Go on. Oh, did it?
So a little backstory about these places as well. Like when the Asuras come into the world of the humans, they open a portal. So this is their magic that they use to open a portal and come into the worlds of the human. So when they do that, when they open a portal, they kind of cause destruction to that environment, to the area around. And what happens next, you find out.
Mm-hmm. This was a huge challenge because with the puzzles, what we wanted to do, I think we put them on for the next project that we work on. To make them a lot more grander, but because of the size of the team, we couldn't do everything that we wanted to. It's just being realistic with it, and the environments. Well, I'll show you. Just watch the environment when we, if I get through this bit, if I remember the combos, which I have forgotten.
It's the rage test now.
Ah,
Don't. Don't, Brit, don't.
I'm down to 3 already. I'm
You're gonna definitely die once at least.
God, stand still, mate. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Oh. Oof. Oh, you. You go.
No.
Right. It might be a while.
Come on, Brit.
Oh, get him, get him, get him.
Use the power.
Oh. Oh, you. I'm hungry now. Stand still. Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. Look at that. Done by a professional. X. Oh, that's a big one. What's that? Awesome art and story.
Thank you.
Creating a game based on Indian mythology which are not like previous done in some other art.
Oh, thank you, Will. If Himanshu and Isaac are watching this, yeah. Yes, like Himanshu is called the Beast.
Oh yeah.
I think it was. Where did the name come from? Because someone said that
Facebook.
in
wasn't it?
Facebook post, right? That he said your animator must be a beast or something.
Yeah, oh, he's like
Because it
beast
was
or-
really good.
yeah.
Because some people thought that it was mocap and not
Yeah.
handmade in animation. So yes,
And that's something that we were against doing actually.
mostly Himanshu was.
No, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's just like he'd been a technician then. But those that do mocap, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, just watch the environment when we.
Yes, so this particular puzzle kind of like makes you focus on your surroundings.
Whereas everyone actually focuses on the actual tree itself rather than the actual what's going on around.
So we added a few things from our trip to PAX.
Yeah.
We got a few feedback because we didn't have this emissive and this thing on the environment before, so nobody was quite noticing it. So when we got back, we discussed this with the team and we made that change. So even when you solve the environment, you get another fragment for what's happening with your brother. So that tells you the future or present. Sorry.
And a gathering storm, threatening destruction on the world.
So the story behind the demon tree is basically, like I said, when they opened the portal, this was actually a big beautiful banyan tree kind of thing. So see, once you solve the puzzle, you basically restored the beauty of the place, you restored the environment, you brought back life. So that's why you get the boon of seeing what's happening with your brother. So that when you open the portal, it, like I said, it destroys the entire environment and the surrounding, and the tree is also kind of is
Regenerated.
that
no.
demon tree is basically like it's destroyed as well. So once you solve that, you restored it back to its life.
Its former glory. Yeah. And then this was something that we thought about doing, and we went back and forth a couple of times, and it was like, well, from this point, how do we move forward? Physically, and and also story. And so we just thought we would add these mystical, lovely, bouncy little stones, and put a nice door at the end there, so you got that sense of mysticism all the way
But
through.
it also leads you to the next
next level. And the story continues. There you go. Hope you enjoyed.
Yep.
If there's any other questions, will you guys be updating this live stream to YouTube? It is on YouTube, I hope, unless I've not pressed the button, which is, very feasible. What's the story behind the? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
I just answered
that.
that.
One. Ian had become Kali now. Oh, really? Thank you.
Is it when he was playing against the Rage Tandoori Sura?
I like the way you integrated different gods like Kali into the game. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If there are no more questions.
Have you? Any more questions? Feel free. We'll be happy to answer. We'll stay on for the next 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Toast. Interesting. We want restart. Alright. Restart demo. The people have spoken. Move out of the way. Yeah, nodders.
Yeah, there's a story behind that as well. How we came to make our nodders sign. Right. That's actually, if you look closely, that says nodding. So all the letters make our nodders.
Yeah. And when Shruti and I we were teaching at a college, video game art college, and I mean obviously when I came to India, being British, I wasn't accustomed to the Indian head nod. So I was, when I asked the students if they understood the brief or if they understood what I was talking about or anything like that, I would say, do you understand? And then what I would get would be,
yeah, that's quite actually common throughout India. Mostly people don't do the yes or no.
Or no.
They do this.
And I said, is that a yes? And they just went like that. And I said, is that a no? And they went like that. So I was like none the wiser. And I basically said yes or no. And that's how nodding heads came to be.
Okay, so Toast has to say how much gameplay hours can we expect. So depending on your playstyle, but at least 4 to 5 hours minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah.
For it was the feast of
Yeah.
Reason to choose Unreal over Unity. So like I said initially, we did start off with Unity, and we did also started with 2D artwork, 2D style, but we soon realized that there's going to be a lot of work, and for me to paint everything all by myself. So yeah, we've been experienced 3D artists, and initially it was just Ian and me doing the art. So yeah, we quick switched to Unreal because also the rest of the team that time was also experienced in using Unreal Engine. So yeah, that's the choice.
It just seemed a no-brainer, really, because then the whole team would have to retrain essentially, and it just didn't seem a viable option at that time. So
Yeah, it's I guess since the team was already equipped with it, and that was a better choice for us, knowing that the limited amount of time we had
yeah,
to make the demo.
yeah, because it's like with anything else, materials and shaders are very, very important, and you need to have good knowledge about all that kind of stuff. a game engine is a game engine. You know, it's there to utilize. You put all the assets in,
This might burn Shiva Creed.
but you need to have people who know what they're doing when it comes to maximizing the proficiency out of the shaders and materials.
Were forever lost.
So yeah,
But as he spoke,
and we didn't have that with Unity. We would have to relearn,
and the earth
and we just simply didn't have the time to do it.
and other figures dressed as demons strode
So
through the
yeah, thank you for the cutscenes here. We love them
This
too.
was not a child's tale.
How much time did you guys take to make this game? Well, initially we had it was meant to be 24 months, 2 years,
The demons turned to
and then when we were
Raji tried
pitching this to publishers and so on, it all just seemed to be
he was scared.
too much.
She knew she must
So
protect him.
we took a cleaver to the
But
to
in
the
that
schedule,
moment, Raji failed.
and what we've been doing ever since is reintroducing as much as we could within the time frame. And
So it's been a total of what, 13 months.
it was 14 months, 14 months and change really.
Yeah.
So
But we've been on this game for 3 years now,
Awake.
right?
yeah,
Initially
the
it was
journey,
a year. Yeah, the journey of Raji has been till for 3 years because we started off. We did the Kickstarter, then it was 1 year of struggle to just
Find
find
funding.
funding and convince and find the partners, the
Mm,
right partners for
yeah.
the game.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Or
it's
will you add ray tracing?
probably not right now. Hang on, that's for the RTX though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right now we do have that in mind. That is going to happen.
We did tests.
We did tests and so on, and Nvidia did give us some cards, and we can't thank them enough for all their support as well. So
Time is tight right now.
Yeah.
but
yeah, time is tight. So basically we have to get everything ready, because we're coming up to going to be launching and so on. So
plans after Raji.
wow, love to tell you, but can't.
For now, our focus is Raji. So
Yeah, we want to get this right because this is
we want to make the mark.
Yeah. yeah.
This is our first game. We want it to be good.
We want it to be, and we've only got one attempt at this. It's got to. We have to try and make the biggest splash against the likes of.
Yeah, like I said initially, yes, Steam chat is the only one we're looking into. But are there more chat?
I've got the Discord open, but it's
Yeah,
not that
there's
busy.
nothing. Yeah, there's not much on Discord.
Unless there's on YouTube, but I haven't got YouTube open because I haven't. So yeah, but it's funny, isn't it? It's like when you play a video game as a gamers, we just run past everything so quickly. It's like in the background, you got the palace burning, but most people don't even recognise that because they're just so concentrated on running.
No, but some people do.
They do, okay.
Yeah.
Not all. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just all the attention to detail that we've added,
She's so young.
and it takes time,
A child.
a lot of time, doesn't it?
Remember Shiva's words.
I mean,
So much weight.
how many iterations? I mean, what's really interesting is like when we actually see the block out, what Abby did, and then
Yeah.
what we actually
We do
got.
keep posting all this on our Facebook, so if you're not already part of our social media, then please join Discord or Facebook,
Facebook,
Instagram.
come on Facebook, because we're always posting on Facebook.
Yeah, also
Um,
Instagram, Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was our experience working with the publisher? It was good.
Well,
like we've said in the last interview, like it's been a very difficult journey for us to find the people who trusted us or trusted a new, especially an Indian team to deliver. Everybody that we pitched the game to, publishers, investors, initially had really good conversation, and we would get really like excited that this will turn into a deal, but it never did. But Super has really put the trust in us, and they've let us create our
do what we wanted to do.
yeah, just make our dream come true, basically, because they've
Her brother and
they've
the other
done-
children had been
they've-
seized by the Garasa.
yeah, they've helped us a lot through the journey.
I
Never
told her that
interfered
she must
with
be
the
strong.
No,
Her journey would be difficult and full of unknowns.
because I think the thing is that we've just been so,
Blessed her with the Trishul,
you know, from the outset we've been
powerful
very
weapon that Shiva had given to her.
decisive in what we wanted to do. You know, we had all the storyboards, the story itself, etc.
With Raji's own
We've had help
serenity
with the
and
story.
strength, would save her brother.
You know, we've had many things in place all the way through, and we've lent on those that have experience, and we listen to those people in order to make the best decisions possible, and to make Raji as good as we can. You know, we are a very small team. Yes, we're experienced, but at the same token, it's like, you know, we're doing something, I'd say, different.
Yeah, it's I would say it is a first for India to come out in all the major platforms like PC, Xbox, PlayStation, Switch.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is a big deal for us to prove that yes, we can do something, and the entire team has been working a lot.
Tirelessly.
Yeah,
Tirelessly.
and we're tired. We need a break now.
Yeah, we would love to have a break, but we can't.
Yeah, last 1 year has been a blur for all of us.
Yeah, it's like, you know, surgically attached to the chair.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know,
There is fire.
the thing is, it's like with any
Must be
indie, they all have
She would have already.
the indie studios. They all suffer from the same thing. It's like, you know, we all want to be creative. We all want to you know, make our story. But in order to do that, you've got to prove yourself. Are we self-taught? Most of us are. For Unreal, defo. I'm 21 years experience in the video games industry, and this is my first game in Unreal. So most other games I've worked on is like proprietary software. So yeah. Shrew, first time Unreal, self-taught.
Yes. Yeah, I've used Unity before. I've worked on Unity for my previous companies that I worked on. But yeah, for Unreal, this was my first time, and it was actually not a very difficult journey. I
No.
guess it was trial and error, and we had Paras, our programmer, and then also our tech artist Jale. He's really good with the engine, so, and he's done a lot of research, and
Oh.
he's also self-taught, so he has been helping a lot. So yeah,
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
how-
yeah.
and mostly all the tutorials out there on internet and also on the forums, everything, that it just helps.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to invest in
To
yourself
save her brother,
throughout
Raji
all
must
of this.
face the demons.
It's like, for instance, you know, when we went over to Substance,
She held the Trishul.
we were shooting and we were reluctant to do it. We didn't want to because it meant learning a new software.
It was blessed by
but we did it.
Okay, so there was a question before that. What games inspired this game design? So initially, as when we started off on this journey, we were really inspired by Bastion and Transistor, and Avi is like when we started off, we've always looked up to Supergiant games. Like we wanted to be like them because the kind of achievement they've made as a small team, the heartfelt games that they've made, that we really wanted to achieve that. We wanted to be a studio like that. So yeah, they are an inspiration. Bastion, Transistor, massively. Whether it was art or design, and also Prince of Persia, God of War, and so
There's so many things as well, but it's not just looking at video games as well, because it's like, you know, inspiration from books, you know, all that kind of stuff, and movies as well, you know. So you've got like, you know, the various
for
contemporary, sci-fi, etc.
Yeah, but definitely also design-wise, yes, those are our inspiration. And for art, it is massively inspired by I especially love Transistor's art style, and also there's a little story behind why Raji is wearing red, because it's my tribute to Red from Transistor. So, and art is also inspired by Journey, because we love the art style of
Journey,
it. Yeah, so I love that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Switch was the hardest one. Yes.
Yeah.
What we were afraid of initially was if it would feel and look the way it does for the rest of the consoles and PC. But yeah, I would say that Deepam, our other programmer, and Jale have done really good for the optimization, and they've worked really tirelessly to make sure that it does look good and it plays well at the required FPS. So yeah, we've achieved that.
But also, just like taking into consideration the amount of assets that have been created for this game, we've got
I don't know about
a couple of thousand now, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, but not just that, it's optimizing everything in the game.
You know, you can't have everything, you know, like massive polygons, detail.
But just also VFX, everything needs to be optimized. So yeah. Again, we are here.
I know. I should be an expert now, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. First time. Oh, and again. Thank you very much.
Game seems a bit choppy right now. Okay.
Do you know why? It's because my laptop is opening everything.
Yeah.
So I've got this, I'm recording, I'm doing live stream, so that's why.
So which platform was the hardest to deal with? Yeah, like we said, it's Switch, I guess. Yeah, Switch is the hardest one. That was the target benchmark that we wanted to make sure it works for Switch and then go up the mark. How much time did it take to render this game? So
well, this is in real time. So the cutscenes.
Yeah, the cutscene has been
what was it? The coloured one. That took a month to render, didn't it? Because we had to do it
2
twice.
weeks initially, then again another 2 weeks or something.
Because we had corrections.
Yeah, we had a few.
And because of the coronavirus, the studio, the guys, obviously everyone had to, go home to their own respective apartments. And unfortunately, some of the computers had to go with them. And when we do light baking, we need the actual cores from the PCs. And we had a LAN set up so that we actually had 76 cores initially. and we are down to, I think, hang on a minute, if my maths are right, 32.
It is like he's calculating every day. He's fixated on this light baking. How many cores do we have? How many cores do we have every day?
Because it takes so long to light bake a level. Initially, we had the highest settings or moderate settings. Some levels took 13 hours to bake, and I think Jade's done his wizardry, and we've got it down to about, some of them about down to about 5 hours. So if you make any changes, make them all in one go and then bake it. Have I done it? I've done it.
Yeah, so is this time limited demo? Yes, the demo won't be available after this Steam Festival.
Oh, getting both. I'm getting to have under at this now. Look at that. Look at that. Right. Now it's the uglies.
Do we have any more questions? Or
So I can stop embarrassing myself playing this game because I'm getting
no, you're getting actually good from the first round.
Get in there.
The reflections in this. They are all baked. Everything in the environment is baked except the characters which are moving.
It's just purely down to optimization.
Yeah.
It's, if you want to do, we will be doing RTX later, but that took a back seat because we had to prioritize what we needed to do, and that is get the game done. So all the niceties will come later. We will patch them later for all the games. And the guys on all the guys will be jumping on to that as soon as everything's done, really. So I say guys, you're included.
Yeah, I'm the only girl in the entire team, so yeah. Like Avi says, there's Haley, there's Zia and Nimi. So these are our dogs. We have the studio has 8 dogs.
Or
Oh, now 9. We're fostering one.
Tommy's gonna be ours because he's got a bit of a condition, and that's called distemper, and it affects the nervous system. And it's where he's chomping all the time. It looks like he's chomping.
Yeah, his
So
jaw is. Yeah, it's clubbed.
So the poor little sausage.
Any plans for releasing soundtrack to? Yes, there are. Yes, you will get your hands on soundtracks.
Get in there.
Get Doggo on live stream. Come on.
Doggo on live
Okay,
stream.
wait, one sec. He's sleeping. I don't know if you can see him in the background, but I'll try to get him.
No, yeah.
Haji, come on.
Time to be famous.
This is one of them.
Look at him. He's half asleep and he's like, what are you doing?
Can you not see?
No, we'll do. Just it's like a 6-second thing. Do you want to play, mate?
Yeah, you want to see Patch play? This is Patch. Patch, we have both of the brothers. Patch and Goldie are the 2 rescue ones. They're all rescued from different situations.
Yeah.
Patch is really clueless. He was sleeping. I just picked him up.
Just come further in.
I have to stand up. Oh, Patch is
struggle.
not happy. Okay, Patchy, go. Patch.
he's like nice asleep, and then you come wake
Yeah,
him.
he's gonna curse me later.
It's okay.
Pachi, come.
Patch, come here. No, right, do the yoga. Yoga stretch. Come here, buddy. Oh,
As a 3D artist, I really appreciate you guys taking the effort to make this. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of hard work into this. So yeah, we're proud of this.
very. Especially for our first game.
Yeah. If you compare the
Pressed the wrong one, didn't I?
oh god.
Oh.
Okay. This question was gonna answer that.
Are you getting others to answer the questions?
Yeah, I have to ask Paras. I
What is
don't
it?
know about this one. That about Karan. So the circle puzzles, basically they're mandalas. Mandalas is they are patterns in a certain types that you can Google them. They're basically part of the Hindu culture. They've been part of other Buddhism as well. So we've utilized that mechanics to tell a fragment of Raji's past. So you get to see about the sibling story, where it led to where they were and what happened to both of them. So it tells you a backstory about Raji and Golu. So this question I'm gonna ask.
Oh yeah,
Tandoori Sura aa gaya.
Oh, I did that perfectly. No, it was the wrong button. Oh, I did the wrong button again. There we go. Perfect. Let's do this. Oh, panic.
So this question about the CPU or this, I'll ask.
Oh, ignore that one. Oh, can't get the angle. Not very good.
How long did we spend on pre-production and night action?
Not enough time.
Yeah, actually if we had more time, initially it was just what, 2-3 months.
Not even.
Yeah, we went along as we were creating different levels or characters. So we had a timeline where each level that we went to, or each production of a level started with all the characters that's gonna go in, or asuras or anything. Everything was worked on prior to that. So that's how we went along. But the initial story and the initial idea of everything, the art bible or the GD, that was made
In advance.
yeah, in advance.
Because the thing is, we'd pretty much worked it out when we had done the Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Come on. What?
Add doggo artwork. We actually did think of adding dogs in the game, but we didn't have the time. the game wasn't developed with Switch in mind. The game was developed with actually all the consoles, PC, everything. But when optimization came into play, we kept Switch as a benchmark. But yes, the game wasn't developed with Switch in mind.
Come on then, mate. Come on then.
There,
What have you?
there isn't going to be much of a difference in the versions that if you play on a Switch on this. It's probably some camera work, slight tweaks here and there, things that will have more optimized characters. That's about it, but not as a gameplay, as an experience that you will feel it's different from if you played in a Switch or you played on a PC. It's that same experience you'll get.
You must admit,
Because unfortunately, you have to optimize things, and sometimes they might look a little different, and it does hurt, you know. But in order to get it running on the game, on the particular console, unfortunately, you do have to sacrifice things. But we've tried our best to honour every level, every character, and all the VFX and so on, and obviously the music, animations. But you know, such is life. It is what it is, and we just hope at the end of the day, we hope that we've created something that everybody enjoys. Really, you know,
Yeah, but as experience, like, it's not going to be any different if you
No.
play it on any version of it.
No. Yeah, I mean, it's like initially, because what we did is when we first got the Switch, we threw everything at it, and we had 13 frames a second on it, and then I think about after a month, Gillet and Deepam have been working tirelessly, and they got it to like 30 plus, didn't they? And it's just these things, you know. You've just got to keep, you know, gnawing away at things and making sure that you prioritise which bits are optimised and which aren't. So, yeah. And the thing is also, it's like, you know, because we're wanting to make a big splash, adding, you know, more and more content. You know, no, we don't have enough time to do it, but we want to do it, so therefore we're going to try and do as much as we can within the time that we've got.
Yeah. Any more questions, or shall we? I think that was the last one.
Oh, that's really sweet. Read that one out. Can you see it?
Yeah.
I'll let you read it out.
Which one is the one you're talking about? The two.
The bottom one. That one.
I've been following the game for quite a while and read a bit in there.
Your birth, Durga. The Devas knew it was
It's
their
nice.
only
It's
chance
beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Sensa.
destroying the foe.
That's all I'm going to say.
All their
I'll read it out.
focused into
Hang on. I think everyone can read it, can't they?
Yeah,
Everyone can
of
see it.
course.
I wonder what your first thoughts were.
The cloth is done with Apex.
Oh yeah, we had it.
Oh,
we had an
Paris
experience.
really enjoyed that.
Every time a cloth is a sensitive topic for Raji, especially for Paris.
Yeah. What's this breakfast? You say the textures remind you of Valorant. I'm not familiar. Not familiar with that. Go on, Google it quick. Google. Also, when working on the title, Raji, because it's consumed so much of our time. We don't have time to do anything other than make the game, make all the assets.
Yeah, we have no idea what's been going on. And, like, we know what games are coming out, but we've not played.
We'd love to be in your position, knowing that all these games, we can play all these games, but no.
All the time Ian he plays. What do you play, Ian? He's just busy flying.
Never mind. Move on. Right, let's not mess this up. AA.
If you have any more questions, because we're almost end, and this is the second round we're doing of the demo, so.
Let me get to the end. I'm almost at the end.
Mahabalasura's demons have warped one of the holy trees of Bhumidevi.
Yeah.
This is why Shiva imprisoned him.
Hey, I've got one of what's it, haven't I? I can do that on Tez. But
Thank you so much. Please make sure you buy it when it comes out.
Oh.
Add it to your wish list if you haven't
Yeah,
already.
please wish list, and get your grannies to do it as well. Get everyone to do it. Oh, hey, ow. Come on. Yes.
Oh, Ian.
Oh, yes.
The third time lucky.
Oh.
I thought Tandoori Sura is gonna come. Why is it this green? Tess.
That's gonna stick,
Yeah. It's a new name I've named it.
Oh, look at that. Get in. I think Avi will be impressed with my skills now. Right then. Watch the environment. It's a good gauge to, so that's the hint.
Okay.
Which I've given away.
We hope so too, that other dev teams get inspired, and there are more games that come out of India. That was also one of
The
our
intentions,
intentions, that more people,
Set
more
up,
teams, teams come from India and tell stories from this land.
Because it's massively underrepresented.
Yeah.
And it's
It's so rich, and it has so many stories, and it can inspire so many games. So
Of dark clouds and a gathering storm, threatening destruction on the world.
I don't think I died since.
And behind it all,
I'm impressed.
the being of great power and malice.
okay, so we're done.
Yeah, we are done, guys. So we will let you be. Let you go get a cup of tea, chillax.
Yeah. Here's Brit's cup of tea.
Yeah. It's monsoon season here now, and I'm loving it. Oh man, the summers are unbearable. They're not terrible, unbearable.
You could say terrible.
I know.
Yes,
I didn't
it's
say
really
terrible.
hot. Yeah, it's
It's
hot.
like it's hot. It's like
really
40 odd degrees. For
Yeah.
me, it's like crispio.
Yeah. So thank you guys for watching us play.
Participating, yeah, thank
and
you,
thank you
loved
for
it.
all the compliments, and thank you. Please also fill up. There's a questionnaire.
Questionnaire,
so
yeah.
if you played the
Avi
demo-
loves statistics. He loves statistics. So it's like, you'll make his day when you play the demo.
Yeah, make sure to give us your feedback, and add it to your wish list. And if you're not following us, please do follow us. Follow our dev on Discord. So thank you for all the comments, all the questions, and goodbye, good
And
night.
good night, good morning, good afternoon,
Yeah,
wherever you may be.
yeah, and buy the game when it comes out.
Yeah, and there, I'm just hovering over. Share your feedback there.
Yeah, and wish list it.
Wish list. Wish list. All right, guys. Hang on. What's this one?
If you had the budget and
The staff enough to make Witcher 3. A game like Witcher 3. Would you make?
Mahabharata or Ramayana. I think we'll still make Raji first because
Yeah.
that's our baby. So yeah. We don't know. We might make some, but yeah. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Where's the button?
Stop the stream.
What do we do? Right. Wave. Bye bye.
Bye bye.